Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Good morning. It's Thursday, June 11th. Thursday, June 11th. Sorry. I keep wanting this to be June. It is July the 11th, not June. My brain keeps saying June, even though this calendar says July. My brain keeps saying it's June. Well, good morning. Give time for Facebook to bring everybody in. Time for YouTube to bring the people in. Time for Instagram to bring the people in. Good morning, all. We're going to get some data here like right now. So what I'm going to do is put us on the screen that does show the candle movement. Oh, it already started popping. But just know now, this initial pop, usually, not that we're here, but it's not live unless you're trading futures. If you're trading futures, then you can trade these things live. I don't trade futures. Hopefully it'll go ahead and show us the chart up there because it's supposed to be on the screen. I don't trade futures, but looks like we just had a little bit of a pop. Potentially, maybe the screen will show. Happy Friday Eve, or happy Thriday, as they say. There we go. Happy Thriday. Got a little bit of time before the weekend. I'm looking for the day that, because the weekends, it depends on how you view the weekends. If you're a trader and you trade regularly, then the weekends are like time that you don't want because you want to be able to be in the market. But if you're still working a 9-to-5 job or a job of some sort, like many of us are, including me, then the weekends is like when you get time off from that job. I'm looking forward to the day when all of my time is mine to do it as I please. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's coming. It's on the way. It's on the way. It's on the way. We're not there yet, but it's on the way. Morning, Abra. Morning, Janae, and good morning, Lorenzo. Y'all talk to me about what's going on in your trades, about what you got going on. I told y'all about my Netflix yesterday, and Netflix dropped and actually breached my entire trade. By the end of the day, I decided to roll it. And let me see, where is Netflix price? Looks like it's currently at 676. I have 677.5, 680. So it needs to pop, but I actually rolled mine. So I rolled mine down to, today is Thursday. That's why we call it Thrive Day. I called it Thrive Day. Like pre-Friday or Thursday, Friday. Anyway, we're looking forward to the weekend. For me, Thursday is the last day that I go to my teaching gig on Thursdays, but I'm not going today because we have the day. Well, I gave my students a day off because we finished what we needed to do and they got other stuff to do without me. So that's what's going on over there. This is Netflix. I decided to roll my trade till next week. I wrote it down and out, as we talked about before. Wrote it down in strikes and I wrote it out another week. So down and out to see if there's some more room there. That's Netflix. Let's go back to SPX 500 and see what's still going on over in the ES. That inflation data, but now that initial pop can be a little misleading. That's why we still, even though we can't trade right now from an option standpoint, you can't trade right now. Of course, if you were, you can't buy shares of SPX, no way. So at this point, you could trade futures if you wanted to. Still in Netflix, you're not breached. Good job. If you're not breached, I'm closer. I got 680, 677.5. Now I collected good money, but I got breached. Hey, Tanya, good morning. Good morning, everybody in all the places. Let me make sure Instagram is still running. Looks like it still is. This is a good thing because Instagram will cut out and you'll be like, what's going on? It gone. It'll be gone and you'll be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know where it went. Okay. Let's go look at the VIX. The VIX is at, I moved my computer. The VIX is at, let me get us a bigger screen, not that one. NVDA is up with that pop. This is good. This is good. The VIX is at 12.98, 12.97, up 0.93% this morning. That's what the VIX is doing. Here comes the CPI report. On Thursdays, investors get data to the Fed policy, June's consumer price index. Here's what to expect. Costco raises membership fees. Powell is paying close attention to the jobs market, as he should be. U.S. futures tread water in the countdown to CPI. Democratic election ticket sound hound market domination. Have you had the money talk with your parents? Yeah, that's a discussion that needs to be had. It was basically when we were growing up, families didn't talk money. You didn't talk money with adults, didn't talk money with children, and as they got older, the children didn't talk money with their adult parents because it's like there was some secret thing. Like if I tell you all about my money, you're going to either, run, get it, or there was definitely a level of distrust seems like there. But we're at the place now where we really have. I mean, I had to talk to my mom before she passed. We had to talk about the money. They had to talk about what is where, what are we doing. If the person doesn't tell you, you just don't know. You just don't know. So we had to talk about where everything went. My mom did a good job. She put everything in one folder. Everything I needed was in one folder in one place. And she was like, if something happens, this is where it all is. This is what's there. This is what's left. This is what you can do. And it's like, okay, great. This is wonderful. But I know other people. I was at a funeral this weekend, and there were people at that funeral who were, as they were going through things of their parents, they were finding papers. They were finding papers that showed there was money sitting in these different Roth IRAs, but they weren't all in one place. These papers were like in the midst of other things, and they could have easily been overlooked. Of course, when somebody passes, ain't nobody from any of those financial institutions gonna come looking for you to give you your money or to give your descendants, your inheritance people. Then nobody's going to give them their money. If you don't have it in an orderly fashion, they may end up losing out on money that you've taken time to invest. So don't let that be you. Janae says, exactly. You need to talk and knowing where things are. Absolutely. Morning, Asleen. Yeah, absolutely. You need to know where stuff is. So, it's not a secret. It's not a secret. Shouldn't be a secret. Anyway, futures. Dow futures. Let me see if I need to refresh this because I opened it before. All the stuff happened. So let's see. Now we're going to refresh this as well. The data points. It's Thursday. Yeah. The days. CPI is at 0.1%. They thought it would be at 0.2%. Consumer price index. And CPI month over month is at a negative 0.1%. They thought it would be a positive 0.1%. CPI year over year is 3%. They thought it would be 3.1%. Okay, so all these are showing red. Unemployment claims 222,000. So there's less unemployment claims coming in than anticipated. They anticipated 236,000 claims, and they got 222,000. So that's a reduction of about 14,000 claims. This is good stuff, right? Red CPI data, green unemployment data. We'll see. Right, 10:30 natural gas storage. FOMC member Bostic is speaking at 11:30. Musalim is speaking. Musalim is speaking. I was going to say is supposed to speak. Too many supposes. Musalim speaks at 1:00, and 30-year bond auction at 1:00. Keep that in mind. That's another one that may see how it's an orange folder, and the federal budget balance is at 2:00. Tomorrow, we do have PPI data, which is more inflation data. So keep that in mind if you're trading things that are overnight, okay? If you're trading overnight things, keep that in mind. Let's go look here. Inflation falls 0.1% in June from prior month, helping the case for lower rates. Hopefully, we can get to some lower rates. That will be good, okay? Stock futures. Dow futures, I'm down 0.16%. S&P futures down 0.13%, NASDAQ futures down 0.08%. Oil is green, 10-year bonds are red. Stock futures jump after CPI report shows easing June inflation. Somebody need to tell the grocery store what that inflation is easing. Somebody needs to tell them that they can reduce those prices again. I bought a bag of apples the other day, and the bag of apples was literally $5. And I think it had 6 apples. It might have had 6, maybe 7 small apples in it, but it was $5. If I didn't want the apples, and they were Honeycrisp. I do like Honeycrisp apples. They're this sweet. I feel like an apple a day will, keep me healthy. And I like the Honeycrisp apples, but was like $5. Like, what is in these apples? Right? What? And they weren't organic, by the way. These were not organic apples. They were a regular bag of apples. All right. Anyway, 10-year Treasury yields dive after June CPI unexpectedly decreases. There's that. Of course, they show you all the goodies. They showed you the aisle here of the sweet snacks. But I'm not sure if y'all have an Aldi nearby, but Aldi is where I didn't buy those apples from Aldi, but Aldi is generally where I shop. Virginia is America's top state for business. Ooh, who knew that? They're dethroning North Carolina. Delta shares tumble after outlook falls short of estimates despite strong summer travel demand. Okay, let's go look at some earnings. LL, you can speak a starter apple tree for that cause. I know, buy a starter. I could be a starter apple tree. Only thing is, it's just it's gonna take too long to get to the apples. I just need to be able to, and in my little yard. Listen, I'm not starting no trees here because the Lord is blessing me right now. Oh, right now I'm speaking it because the Lord's blessing me to get me a yard get me a house that has a bigger yard. Okay. When we were buying this house, my husband always says this. When we were buying this house, because I'm the one who picked it out, he's like, you knew the yard looked like this, so how come now it's a problem? I was like, but I didn't know I would care. At the time, I didn't know the yard size was going to mean that much to me, but it means more to me than I thought. I didn't realize that it meant more to me. Tanya says, oh my God, I picked up a bag of cherries and they were $10. Yes, that happened to us. Me and Warren were out of town. He picked up a bag of cherries and it was 3 something. There were 3, and this might have been at Aldi's. It was 3 something a bag, and when 3 something a pound, and put it on there. It was 9 and some change, and he had already walked off, and I was getting ready to pay, and I was like, "These some $10 cherries. These need to be delicious. They need to do all the stuff cherries are supposed to do. They need to be completely healthy. They need to put us to sleep. That's what these cherries need to do. Because for $10 a bag, they need to really do some stuff." Tanya said she left hers in the store. We didn't leave ours in the store because I didn't realize that they was as much as they were until after I was at the register. Like, what in the world is in these cherries? Okay, so this morning we had PepsiCo earnings. We had Delta, Conagra, Bank 7, Methode. I think this is electronics. Yeah, NTIC. Then aftermarket today, we're going to have Vista. Tomorrow morning, though, we're going to have the banks. We're going to have JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citibank. Those ones show up on our list of our trading list regularly. We're going to have BNY, which I'm not sure who they are, and Fastenal and Ericsson. I think Ericsson, I know is tech. Fastenal sounds like something that's maybe industrials. That's what's going on as far as earnings. So Delta, we may be able to look at Delta this morning and see if there's an opportunity. I put them on our list. See if Delta is an opportunity going into tomorrow, if they will offer us an opportunity for a trade. All right. Adam Mancini says it's been a historic run in SPX, 185 points from July the 2nd, 54.51 long with 0 dips to trigger stops. CPI 830, size way down now. Expect noise for the first 30 minutes. Anything can happen. Now, of course, he's talking to the ES people who are in the market at the time that CPI is released, which is not us options trader for SPX. So that last sentence really didn't pertain to the SPX people. It really pertained to the ES people. The plan is 56.15 to 17 is support. It must hold and recover in order to keep 56.35, 56.41, 56.55 plus alive. If 56.15 fails, then you'll dip to 56.05 and 55.83 to 87. All right. The difference between SPX and ES is still 55 points. It's still 55 points. Right. I got several things we're going to look at today as far as stocks. If you got something you want us to look at for tomorrow, then let me know. On here, I'm going to check off this list. We're going to look at TJ Maxx, I believe we're going to look at from this list. We've looked at almost everything here, but I kind of wanted to see Datadog again. But we've looked at almost everything here. If you got something else you want to check on, then go ahead and mention it. All right, go from here. I think we're going back to the chart after this. Yep, we're going back to the chart. All righty. I got me a nice little list for us to take a look at. We just looked at Netflix. Right. Let me get to the daily chart, maybe the 4 hours, so that way we can see what's happening. This is SPX 500 on the screen. This is what has happened after the pop from CPI data. Notice it ran right up to a pivot. Y'all know I run my pivots app. It ran right up to a pivot and turned back. Doesn't mean it's not. It could just be pulling back to go up some more. Don't know, but we got 45 minutes before the market opens. We got time today because, okay, so let's look at NVIDIA. I think Lorenzo just mentioned that NVIDIA popped on this with the CPI pop. NVIDIA did too. I think I want more than, I don't think I want a 4 hour chart. I want something that's got more minutes so we can see more of a progression. Okay. This is NVIDIA. This is where it closed. Oh, I got my wrong close. This is where it closed yesterday at 134, and it is currently at 136 and some change. 136.72 is where NVIDIA is right now. So now I've been trading NVIDIA as put credit spreads this week. My one yesterday closed after a 1 day again. NVIDIA keeps showing up on the alerts list, on the Peakbot alerts list. So I've been, utilizing the alerts list on a daily basis. If you got questions about that, please be sure to ask them, whether in our community or in the comments. You can ask about the alerts. But I've been using the alerts on a daily basis. Yesterday, I think I only did off of the indices. So I did IWM and just a triple Q. Triple Q is done by automated. It's automated for me through Peakbot. That's my automated trading, my hands-free. And they do triple Q every day for me. So I did that yesterday. And then I added IWM. But I think we're going to look at IWM because I think IWM trying to break out, and you'll be breaking out on me with my iron condor. No, sir. So I got to go look, and we got to go look and see what's going on with that. Okay, so NVIDIA is currently at 136 and some change in the pre-market. If you're looking to do NVIDIA this morning, we do have a 1 day, a 1 DTE put credit spread. The support here is at 133.89 at the bottom of this candle, at the bottom of yesterday's hammer candle is what this is. So I would probably go with 134. I have it open today. So let's see. I have Thinkorswim open. So we can look to see if there is some interest in trading NVIDIA or whatever else we look at today. Doesn't have to be NVIDIA. We have to, sometimes the big names catch our attention when some of the little babies be doing their thing, like AMD. AMD ran some more yesterday. I had an AMD trade in Robinhood that I forgot was even over there. And then yesterday I went over there to look for something else and was like, oh, snap. I'm up 50, was it $50 or $60? I paid 70 for the contract and I closed for 135. So that's what, $65? I made $65, almost 100% return. Didn't even realize it. Forgot it was even over there. Probably good I forgot it was over there, because if I had been looking at it, I probably would have closed it early. This is NVIDIA. If we're looking for tomorrow, we've got a 3.6 plus minus number. So if you were to subtract 3.6 from here, you'd be at like 130. Even though I said on the chart 134 was the bottom of that hammer, that's a 66%. I probably would get down into 132, 133, somewhere in there. 132. Market is closed, of course, but it's paying $20. I like, if we were to look at the chart, I would look right here at this pivot, using that as support, which is 134. So now there's a gap down here. I realize that. Will NVIDIA come back and get it today? Not sure. Part of the gap got filled yesterday. We're speaking of gaps. It's what we're going to talk about this evening on our call, on our Chart Your Way to 100K training session. We're going to talk about that this evening. If you are one who still needs to learn charting, you might need to check into look in the Chart Your Way to 100K training. It's at my website. LL says, is it safe to do iron condors at all with all of these breakouts? It's going to depend. It is safe, quote unquote, but you want to make sure that you're managing the position the next day. Because if you got a 1 DTE, then you don't have a lot of time for stuff to fluctuate and come back into the zones. So you are picking strikes where you believe price won't go, and if it doesn't do what you want it to do, then you're closing it up in a reasonable fashion. So, like for example, I had triple Q, not triple Q, that closed yesterday fine. It might have been XSP that closed. It was going through SPX and XSP. So what I do is around the time that I would enter again, because 12 o'clock is the time I'd enter for the next day. Around that time, I'm looking to see where has price for that particular stock gone already in the first 2 hours of the day, and what does it look like it's going to keep doing. And if it looks like it's going to keep going in a direction and continue to breach or whatever, I will go ahead and close my trades then for a smaller profit. Because if at the time I enter these trades, I'm entering them at like 45 and 50 something dollars, sometimes 50, $54 for an iron condor. If I can close that same iron condor for $30 at 12 o'clock, then I've kept 20 of those dollars. I don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till the end of the day to get all your money. If you collect $50 on the iron condor, one side is going to go to nothing. So you're going to buy that back for $5. If the other side is breaking out and you close that for, let's say $30, $25 or $30, then the difference between that $30, $35, you're keeping as your profits. If you take in 50 and you close for 30, then you're keeping 20. That works for me, right? And then you're not waiting for the rest of the 4 hours of the day to go by worrying about it. And then you've got a new position that you turned on for $50 more. So the money continues to compound. If you just take 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, then you're going to continue to grow your account, right? We don't have to wait till 4 o'clock to close it, or all of them may not dwindle down to the $5 to close. And when they do dwindle down to 5, you let them, right? When they're going to go down, then you let them. I think it's a choice. It's a seeing there is a lot of one-way movement or trending movement happening right now, but it's not that way every single day. If it trends one day, it generally won't trend the next day. And when you get to where you got a profit target of whether that 50% you turn it off or 70% you turn it off, and you still keep those profits, you don't have to wait till 4 o'clock to close the trade. Okay, close the trade when it suits your profit target. All right, that's how we can work that. Okay, I hope that was an explanation that you understood, that worked for you. Okay, so this was NVIDIA. Again, I told you I would probably look at 133 or 134 if you're going to do NVIDIA. Let's look at what AMD, I think I typed in AMD. That's not them. AMD. This is AMD. Yesterday had the big old green candle. The price action did close up the gap that when it gapped up yesterday, it opened, dropped down a bit, and then ran some more, which is good. AMD still on the upwards ride. If you're looking for, put credit spread, call credit spread, see what's back here. If we see anything that's back here that's going to provide. I think AMD may be, I was going to say at all times high, but it's really not. It's coming into It's like it's coming into a gap from March. This gap from March was not fully filled. So it may go on up, and the top of this gap is 190, and the current price of AMD is 180. Is that a 2 or a 7? 181. Nope. That's 183. Yeah, 183 is the current price of AMD. But it's got this gap fill back here that it may try to go ahead and get. It got a part of it. We went up to what this candle went up to the 50% mark of the gap, but that means the top 50% here is still desiring to be filled. Still desires to be filled. All right. I need to put a circle around AMD because that will require some more watching. LL says, thank you. Perfect explanation. Got a drop early today for an early morning meeting. Okay. Have a good day. All right. Have a good day. We looked at Netflix. Let's go look at Uber. Uber has been something that's worked for us the Thursdays the last few weeks. Uber has worked on Thursdays for us. See what is a good iron condor areas, how we did Uber the past few weeks. Look like in the pre-market Ubers at 69.74. Okay, it had been in this zone and it still is. It's trying to pull out of this zone, though. It's trying to fall out. Trying to fall out of the zone. So Uber now, these are lower lows, so it really would look like it's doing a, we've got a downtrend, a little bit of a downtrend starting. Downtrend, yes, with the tops. And we've got lower lows. Lower lows, lower highs. Okay, kind of a wedge, a little bit of a wedge forming. I know Jamie worked with y'all on some of these wedges and some of these candle patterns. This might be a flag. Would this be the pole? Could this be the pole right here? From here to here, be the pole. And then the flag coming in. So still looking, I would still look iron condor-ish because it's just coming down in this area. So pivot point 71 and the low right now is 69. It's a little bit above that plate support. So let's see what we could do. I wouldn't put this here. I would put this a little bit lower now that we've got some room. Put credit spread, what's that, 60, 68? Even though that looks like those are big old candles. $67, $60. Put me an 8 back there. No. There we go. Let's go look and see what the chart shows. Looking at Uber. Looking call credit spreadish first since it's coming down like it is. Looks like there's an 80% probability out of the money at 71. And at 88 at 67 or 68. I probably would go with the 67. It's a lower delta, so it's not going to provide as much premiums. But I think I said 67, 68, didn't I? So 68 and 71. What we got, a plus minus 1.6. 68, 71. Yep, both of those are good. As far as the plus minus number goes. 68 is going to pay $14. Market's closed, of course. 68 pays $14 and 71 is paying $11. So $25 on the iron condor. $25. If you wanted to do just one side, then do that. And then if you wanted more money, you can do more contracts. If you feel more comfortable with one side versus the other, then pick that side and do more contracts. Of course, more contracts require more collateral. Iron condors don't require any more collateral, but you'd rather be safe than Sally. Okay, I picked 71. I'll put this on here. No. Mm. 71, 72. Okay. That's what I see for Uber. That's what I see for Uber. TJ Maxx. Did anybody trade TJ Maxx from the list this week? TJ Maxx is on our list. Got put credit spread 109, which if you had traded it, you definitely would have closed it by now, or definitely be closing it today, because the strike was 108, 109. It's a long wick here from yesterday, though. Time frame continuity all to the upside. This big old wick, this was monstrous. So it dropped a lot, probably scared some people yesterday, and then went on up some more. But it seems like there's a lot of long wicks on TJ Maxx. Y'all see all these wicks are kind of long? Maybe I stretched it out. Oh, you know what? These are by the 10 cent. Why is the chart showing it by the 10 cent? That's weird. Okay. It still looks like a super long wick either way. Either way. Okay. So a put credit spread would still be in order. I don't think 109 would now be a great place because it's so far away as far as strike prices go. To 109, if you had traded that, it would definitely be closed in profit at this point. But if we're looking for today, from today for tomorrow, honestly, 112, we got a plus minus 1.4, which I would probably do 111. I wouldn't suggest 112 to anybody else. It's something I might do, but I wouldn't suggest that to anybody else. Okay, so 110, 111, 110, 111. Actually, that's not paying any money. At this point, the market's closed, so you can't really see, but it says negative 0.5, which that's just weird. And the 112, 111 is paying $10. I wouldn't be comfortable with that at this point. 1.4. Even though current price is at 113.50, once the market opens, you probably could see a better place for TJ Maxx. Let's go look at Delta Airlines. Now that they reported their earnings, we can see what that chart is looking like. Let's put them on so we can see the pre-market. Delta Airlines got big old candles. They got big old red candles. That was their earnings. That was their earnings there. Let me see if I see some support on the daily chart before I go there, because we may be able to see that. It definitely hit this as support. It does have some resistance in this area, though. There's a gap up there that's asking to be filled. Where it bounced off of was also support back in April, and it's gone up from there. This is daily. Yesterday was a red day. I think this is yesterday. Yep, shows Wednesday. And it's coming into some resistance, though, at 42. Got a mixed bag on the time frame continuity. So I do see that it's been 5 or 6 days, 6 days inside this same zone. Let me see. Did I miss something there? I think I might have. Trying to see where so yeah, we can't even look in that area because the current price is at 47. So let's go back here. That's what gets you when you look in the daytime. But we are in a zone here. This is current prices at 40, 42 and some change, which is coming right into a support area that's from back in March. Okay. Support area from back in March. 42, 41, 42, somewhere in that area. I definitely will watch to see how it opened and see what kind of move. Yeah, Delta. Even though Delta's had, the summer months, I guess, have been a boom because people are traveling more this summer, traveling more this year. than they have in previous years. Yeah. And I bet you if Delta Airline is looking kind of, you got the sympathies. You're going to have the sympathies that will trade right along with it and will drop. You see this. This is United Airlines. It's also down in the pre-market. And then American Airlines also down in the pre-market. Pre-market over here lower than current price. Yeah, that all of those will sympathetically will trade together. I wonder if the ones like Spirit and Southwest also are sympathy trades for those. What is Spirit? Love? Or is Love Spirit or Southwest? I think that's Spirit. And then Southwest is Love. Spirit must be Save. Yep. So Southwest is down in the pre-market. And then Save. These budget airlines, I'm going to tell you, if you're looking to fly somewhere, the budget airlines ain't necessarily all that budget. Not anymore. They about like those apples at the grocery store. They're about like the apples. Okay. So Spirit Airlines is a $2. When did they get so low? Y'all can tell I don't trade Spirit, but it's $2. $2 a share. Lord of mercy, $2.99. That's $3 a share. Looks like it's got down. It's got time frame continuity to the downside some more. What is going on, Spirit? What is going on, Spirit? Okay, so Delta Airlines is down in the pre-market. Did we look at AMD? Yes, we did. We looked at Uber, TJ Maxx, NVDA, Netflix. I have one more, which is ABBV. I'm looking at ABBV because I believe it's going to try to fill this gap. It's very close to going into this gap, and it's got full time frame continuity, not full, to the upside. All you need is a few days, honestly. So the day, the week, the month doesn't have to be green, but it's trying to go right into this gap. For the stratters, for those who are stratters, the entry is 168. That number right there is very hard to read. I need to change that so I can see the colors. Is this the one that's running? I think it is. That green is not readable. Yeah, this needs to be changed to black so somebody can see it. There we go. Looking at the indicators, dot, solid, black, visibility. We need some of these to be just a little thicker. Background color. VWAP is on. Inputs. Why would they pick this yellow? That's almost impossible to see too. Okay. I think that does what I needed it to do. Anyway, it says target high is 168.53. So if you can get if it above the 168.53, it should go on into the gap and start to fill the gap that was created from July 2nd. From July 2nd, it should go ahead and get in there. So that's why I was looking at ABBV. So let's look. If we wanted some, the gap could provide some resistance, which it has. You see, a couple of days it has provided resistance, but we do have some room there. Let's see. Let's go look at ABBV. I used to trade ABBV regularly. It's been a while since I traded it, though. Single. If we want to look at it as a put credit spread, we can do 162.5, 165. Let's see what kind of money. $5. Oh no, that's not good money. That's not good money. We're not getting $5 on a 2.5 spread and ain't. Current price is 168.47. Yep, but I wouldn't go any low. I wouldn't go any closer just because of the probability of the money, and it's a plus minus 2.3. So that's the closest I would get if I was going to look on the top side of the gap, which is another place. That's what, 170. Yeah, so I would potentially look there. 170 to 76% probability out of the money. That's should provide better money because price is coming towards it. Yep, that's paying $30. 170, 172.5. This time frame on ABBV, I believe, is the daily. This is the daily time frame, Abram. The Breeze CEO was on Kramer. What did he have to say? I enjoyed my Breeze flight. I'll tell you one thing I liked about the Breeze flight is we paid for a carry-on bag because everything is, you pay for all the pieces, but there was nobody there who was like checking. I mean, not once they wasn't like hawking your carry-on bag to make sure that you didn't have too much. My flight also wasn't full both ways. It was more full coming back than it was going. Who knew that many people were flying from Jacksonville to Columbus, Ohio, and from Columbus, Ohio back to Jacksonville? It's like, you're thinking this can't be a popular route, but they fly it every day, so it's popular enough for it to go every day. Yeah, so anyway, I would see y'all talk to me and get me sidetracked. I get sidetracked. Okay, so 170 is our resistance up here if it gets into the gap. And these lines in the middle will also provide some resistance. So it may be more useful to trade it on the top side from the call credit spread side, coming down. So because you've got things in the middle that will pause it. If you want to trade it going up as a buyer or a seller, you could do that too. You could go up underneath one of these, maybe go underneath where you currently are, which I said was what, 165, and then trade going up. Now for tomorrow, that's just for tomorrow, and that's according to this, is not going to provide any good money for tomorrow. But if you decided you wanted to go out a week, which it might be a little early to go out a week, but not really. We usually go out on Thursday or Fridays. So not really. 4.7. So if you pull down from here, 163 or 162.5 for a week, that's paying $32. 162.5, 160, 162.5 for next week is paying $32. Now those are good premiums because you want to get at least 10% off of your, off your collateral. Definitely. Okay. Let me turn this because there may be something even closer. It says 167 based on this point here. 167 and 165. You could even get in a little closer. 165 is going to pay $63. Woo! Them the premiums that call at you. They start calling your name and you're like, you try not to answer. Yeah. You try not to answer when those premiums call because you're like, I don't want to answer just because of the premiums, but I was going to look at before we left. I was going to look at Amazon. My Amazon Iron Condor is still doing its thing. I have an Amazon Iron Condor. It's been just kind of hanging out in here, but that is a hammer from yesterday. So let me see what's going on in Premarket. Oh, it pulled back a little bit in the Premarket. It's at 199 and some change. Maybe Amazon's gaining strength. I'm hoping to exit mine today because I have seen, and you may have too, that Fridays seem to be quite bullish in the market. Fridays seem to be quite bullish in the market. Tanya, you covering up your eyes. You don't want to see those good premiums on ABBV. $63 for a 2.5. That's over a 20% return on your money. Yeah, that's over 20%, almost 25%. It's hard to ignore those. Okay, so the vertical credit spreads training, I always talk about this, is available. That's because we always talk about those credit spreads. And I do have people regularly who come into my comments or who are here who have questions about vertical credit spreads, and almost all the questions that are had are inside of this training. So you can go ahead and grab your training. Chart your way to 100K, the charting cheat sheet, charting checklist, charting cheat sheet. You can get it for free at chartyourwayto100k.com. Charting cheat sheet at chartyourway to100k.com. When you go there, once you put in your email address, there's another screen that will pop up with the link to the cheat sheet, or you can check your email and there's a link in that email that's going to be for your cheat sheet. So it does, the funnel is working properly. I checked it out to make sure that it is providing the information I said I would provide, right? If you're new to options and you want to know about, starting to be an option seller, then Options 411 is a little short training course, like a mini course at $17. Also at educatortotrader.com. E2T membership. We're meeting tonight, by the way, we're going to train on trends, gaps, what did I say? And moving averages. I think is what I said. Trends, gaps, and moving averages. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We do those kinds of trainings once a week. And we also have a Telegram where we're there regularly talking about all the things that people want to talk about. If you're interested in talking about things, we talk about what you want to talk about. And we help with trades. That's where the alerts come. That's where all the stuff that I'm going to communicate is where I communicate is inside that Telegram. All right. That's where you get the best of me, in the Telegram. In that membership is where you get the best of me. All right. E2T Trader's Declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen. Okay, so with the CPI data, let me go one more time back to SPX to see what SPX 500 is doing. We want to see what's going on with that. SPX 500, I'll put us on the 15-minute chart. Okay, to see what kind of movements we've had. And it looks like it kind of popped a bit and then popped and dropped, and it's moving back up again is what it looks like it's happening right here. We had a pop in this big green candle. Then we've got the red candle. It pulled way back almost to where it started. And then now we've got some more upwards motion going. Maybe it'll pull on out of the station. Potentially, come on, it'll pull on out of the station. Otherwise, you want to trade wisely and strategically. Be mindful of your resources. Don't over leverage your portfolio. And remember, the base hits add up. 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%, they add up, right? You want to make sure that, and if stuff starts going against you, you pull the plug. I'd rather you pull the plug early and then find out that it would have been fine than to stay in a trade and find out at the end that you wish you had pulled the plug before. You'd rather pull the plug and maybe get back in if you need to, or pull the plug and go on to something else. Right? Use your stop losses that you already have. If you establish them, then let's stick to the plan that you establish. All righty. Stick to the plan that you establish. All righty. We're going to do 3 things today. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money, and we're going to have a great green day. All righty. I'll say goodbye to everybody. Fond farewell. Trade wisely. Okay. I'll see y'all in the market. If you're in my membership, you're free to talk to me inside of the telegrams. All right. Talk later. Goodbye, everyone.